A global heat apocalypse hit. I fed her well. For 3 years, my campus goddess girlfriend cheated on me. She didn't just clean out all my supplies, she even let me starve to death. But I was reborn by chance. Back before the apocalypse. And I got a space power too. Its storage space was huge beyond measure. And it came with time stop. Anything put inside. No matter how long it stayed there. When I took it out, it was just like when it went in. I died for nothing. This time, I'll live it up in the apocalypse. First, get money. That's first. Money still matters most. Without money, I can't do anything. At that thought, I called my uncle right away. I sold my 40% stake for $1.5 billion in cash. Now I've got over $1 billion on hand. First, I'll stock up on every kind of supply. With that, I called every restaurant in the city. I ordered 3,000 servings of each signature dish, and had them delivered to a set location. The storeroom behind my villa wasn't that big, but it worked perfectly as a transfer point. Then, I drove to the snack street myself. I bought up almost all the food there, and stored it in my space. After that, I went to the city's grain shops. In one go, I bought all their rice, flour, and cooking oil. Only then did I go home. By then, the dishes from every restaurant were already in the warehouse. All set, I put it all into my space. Now what I need is medicine and gear for extreme weather. The equipment I need. Medicine was easy enough. As long as it wasn't prescription meds, I could buy it at regular pharmacies, so I drove to the shopping district. After clearing out most of the city's pharmacies, my medicine stock was enough to last me centuries. Next is extreme heat. The tools and gear you'll need. Fridges, ACs. You can't skip those. Then there's heat-proof gear for desert travel. After extreme heat comes extreme cold. So down jackets, padded coats, all that, are essential too. And after that, storms and floods. You'll need diving gear, boats, raincoats. That's just the basic gear. A lot of this stuff, like fridges and ACs, if you don't set it up before the apocalypse, it'll basically be useless. Most important is guarding against bad people. In the apocalypse, they're the biggest threat. So building a safe shelter means more than just fully stocked gear and power. It also has to block wind and heat. So I went straight to the city's biggest contractor. I had them follow my specs and turn my villa into an unbreakable fortress. First, the outer wall, the first line of defense, was all wired with high voltage. If you want to get in, unless you're Monkey D. Luffy. Next, the villa walls. Inside the walls, I added steel plates a meter thick, heat-proof and bulletproof. Matching them was 15-layer bulletproof, UV blocking glass. Altogether, it was a full meter thick. Even an RPG wouldn't blow through it. Every corner got loaded with top-end cameras. Full 360 coverage, no blind spots. The second you get past the wall, I'll see it all from the control room. Lastly, inside the villa, insulation, network systems, climate control, power generation, and more. It's got everything. Now this villa is a true apocalypse stronghold. But it's still not enough. In the apocalypse, vehicles matter too. So I found the city's last vehicle mod center. They customized 2 cars for me. One car had heat shielding, so it could drive safely in extreme heat. The other was sealed and insulated for extreme cold. After all that, of the over $1 billion in cash I'd prepared, how much was left? Right now, with a month till doomsday, time was what mattered most. If I still hadn't prepared, then weapons, ammo, and stockpiles from the neighbors. Their guns were my grain store. And I'd got an idea about the weapons too. I'd get them after the cars were modified. Just as I got back to the villa, I saw the campus beauty, Fangqian, waiting there. She must have heard I'd cashed out $1.5 billion and come to make me her sucker again. But what she didn't know was, that simp, Zheng Taidan, was long gone. Thinking of my past life grudge, I instantly wanted her dead. But doomsday was only a month away. A month later would be her doom. Waiting a bit longer was fine. This 1 month. Zheng Taidan, I heard you cashed out $1.5 billion lately. I just happened to like a few LV bags. Can you buy them for me? They're not expensive. Altogether, not even 200 grand. You came to me just to ask that? Sorry about that. Not interested. They say men turn bad once they get money. Looks like it's true. Zhang Taidan, you're rich and you've forgotten me? I was thinking, once you bought me those bags, I'd agree to be your girlfriend. Zhang Taidan felt sick inside. In his last life, it was words like that that made him support this gold digger for a full 3 years. And in the end, he died horribly. I ignored her, then turned and went into the villa. Zhang Taidan, how dare you treat me like this? I decided to ignore you forever. No matter how you apologize, it won't help. Back home, I immediately opened an online shopping app and bought a ton of stuff in bulk. Besides supplies for extreme cold and heat, I also bought plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables. Those are essential nutrients in the apocalypse too. Last came energy. After eating, I went straight to every gas station in town. I bought up all the fuel they had in one go. That solved the energy problem too. I was getting closer and closer to my goal of coasting through the apocalypse. Last, of course, were weapons. Here at home, There was no way I'd get restricted items like that. Not to mention every place with weapons is heavily guarded. And with the Skynet system and big data screening, they'd probably find me in minutes. So I set my sights on the nearest neighboring country for weapons. Whether my plan for Maoxiong was workable was still up for debate, but this trip to Maoxiong definitely wouldn't be a loss. Because it also has a freshwater lake, known as the North Sea, rich in resources. Even if I couldn't get weapons from Lake Baikal, bringing the whole lake into my space would still be a great deal, so I got moving. I quickly bought a ticket to southern East Siberia and headed for Lake Baikal. After I got off the plane, I found a secluded spot, took out my car, and drove to Lake Baikal. By the time I got there, it was already late at night. I looked around, saw nobody nearby, and put the car into my space. Enduring the -40 cold, I changed into a wetsuit. Once I got in the water, it was only around 0 degrees, couldn't get any colder than that. After putting on the oxygen tank, I opened my space right away. I started taking in the surface ice, and a 5-meter thick layer vanished into my space. I dropped straight into the water. It instantly felt a lot warmer. Then I activated my space at full power. A whirlpool 100 meters across started sucking in water like a giant pump. As the water surged, a huge whirlpool in Lake Baikal's center was born, and all kinds of aquatic life were instantly swept into my space. Deep inside the whirlpool, I wasn't affected at all. I kept swimming deeper and deeper until 3 in the morning. I reached the deepest part of Lake Baikal. Aside from here, there wasn't a drop of water or a single fish anywhere else. With that done, now was the best time to grab weapons. As I said that, I took the car out of my space, and I kept the space entrance right in front of it. About 5 meters ahead, then slowly drove at a depth of 1,500 meters in Lake Baikal. Whatever was in front of me, dirt or rock, all got sucked into my space. That kept the car moving in a straight line. So it worked. Then I headed for Maoxiong's weapons depot. After driving for over an hour, I finally got near the military base. Then, by removing dirt above the car and placing dirt below it, I brought the car back up to the surface. Then I snuck in closer myself, when I was less than 500 meters from the base, so I wouldn't expose myself. Under surveillance, I used the same dumb method as before, slowly approaching from underground. That way, even if there were mines ahead, I could absorb them into my space. And when I got inside the base, I could clearly feel the vibrations from people walking above. It made my heart jump into my throat. But there was no way they could find me, so I gradually relaxed. In the end, I picked a relatively quiet spot and came up. Turns out my luck was insanely good. This was the base's armory. It didn't just have standard weapons. It even had vehicle-mounted missiles, tanks, and attack helicopters. There were even 2 fighter jets, and the missiles looked like they were basically free, just piled off to the side. 10 missile trucks, 20 tanks, 3 attack helicopters. I was too excited for words. Even in my past life, I'd never seen gear like this. So I immediately stored them all in my space. A total of 10 missile trucks, 20 tanks, 3 attack helicopters, 2 fighter jets. So many missiles, conventional and nuclear, I couldn't even count them. Forget those small-time punks. Even if the US led the charge, as long as I had the men, I'd still dare fight them. But I had to leave fast. If I was spotted, I'd be in trouble. Then I used the same method to get back to Lake Baikal. Only by then, it was already daylight. Tourists and locals alike stared at the completely emptied Lake Baikal in shock. They couldn't believe he'd actually done it overnight. More importantly, he didn't leave a single fish. Of course, that wasn't my concern. I then headed for the next location. It was Russia's oil reserve base. With this much armored equipment, I naturally needed huge amounts of fuel. And Russia just happened to be a major oil producer. Then I used the same method and took from Russia again countless amounts of fuel, plus a whole refinery production line. That way, even if fuel ran short in the apocalypse, I could still refine oil myself, making sure I had enough fuel to use on the way back. On the way back, I also dug up an entire coal seam underground, plus all the processed coal in the warehouses. Even this most basic fuel was essential. Now my land equipment was definitely enough. Too bad I still had nothing for the water. What about the US? Don't they have several carriers? And their fighter jets are highly advanced too. In that case, I'll go take some from them. After all, in such a free country, they surely won't stop me from taking things. Freedom, right? Meanwhile, the equipment at Lake Baikal and a military base vanished mysteriously. After hearing the news, Russia's president rushed to the base overnight to inspect the situation. Then he learned the oil reserves and refinery had been stolen too. He seemed to age years in an instant. And by then, I'd already arrived at Moscow International Airport, getting ready to head to the US capital, Washington, because just east of Washington, there's a port. Various active US warships and carriers are docked there. That flight took a full 10 hours. And I took the chance to get some solid sleep. After getting off the plane, I glanced at bustling Washington, then headed straight for the docks. When I got there, I was thrilled. There were 2 carriers here alone, and over a dozen destroyers. Dozens of supply ships too. Right away, I checked into a hotel nearby. When it got dark, I used my old trick and dug for less than half an hour. I reached the dock. Then I changed into my wetsuit. Then sealed the tunnel. After making sure no one would spot it, I jumped straight into the sea, and when I reached the biggest carrier's underside, I opened my space with a whoosh. A carrier worth billions just vanished into thin air. At the same time, several people dropped right into the water. Looks like there were people aboard. Seeing that, I had no time to hesitate. Before they could react, I hurried to take the second darkened one. I was still in the water. They'd never spot me, so I quickly took the second carrier too. As the carrier vanished, another bunch of people fell from the air into the water. By then, the US Naval Base had already sounded the air raid alarm. They'd realized the carriers were suddenly gone. Countless floodlights started sweeping everywhere, trying to find the carriers. By now, they were probably fully on alert. Should I keep going? Fortune favors the bold. Just getting in here this time took a whole lot of luck. Their guard was really lax. If I don't clean them out now, I definitely won't get another chance. So not only did I not run, with the alarm blaring, I kept taking frigates, destroyers, and supply ships. The US base commander was cursing at the sight. Ships caught in the searchlights suddenly started disappearing one by one. Even sinking into the sea wouldn't be that fast. Not long after, just as I was about to leave, I saw quite a few people on shore changing into dive suits. Maybe the Americans had realized someone was in the water, so they were getting ready to dive in and hunt us down. But getting changed would take a bit longer. I had to move fast. Faster, faster. I even took the carrier. These little boats couldn't be spared either. Right in front of me, dozens of subs were just floating at the harbor mouth. All this good stuff. If I didn't take it today, I'd lose sleep over it. So I gunned it, rushed over, and opened my storage space beside them. I pulled them all inside. Then I climbed ashore and used the old trick again. Taken up front, let out and back, and head for the US supply station. With so many ships and subs missing from the port this time, security had to be rushing to the shore. So there was probably nobody left at the sub dock. Just like I thought. Sure enough, nobody was here. They'd all gone after the carrier. Heavy fuel, aviation gasoline, jet fuel, this place had everything. I opened my storage space and took it all in. Now I'd have fuel for those carrier jets too. What I didn't know, though, was that this trip to the supply station planted a huge hidden danger for me. Back in manhwa, I wasn't in a rush. So I carefully cut off all the cameras and the network. But this time I was in too much of a hurry. The surveillance cameras caught me. And at that moment, several top US generals were watching the footage. Silent. From the footage, a hole suddenly opened in the supply station floor. Then a man in a diving suit crawled out of it. Then, without a second's hesitation, he walked to the nearest shelf. Then everything on that shelf vanished. It was like this man had superpowers. Wherever he went, the goods there just disappeared. What kind of power is that? Or was he an alien, or some high-tech freak? Whatever it is, he actually dared mess with us Americans. He clearly doesn't take us seriously. Judging by the wetsuit, the vanished carrier and sub have to be tied to him. Find him at all costs. I'll make him regret crossing America. By then, I was back at the hotel, lying on the bed, counting today's haul. Nuclear sub, carrier, and carrier jets, plus all that fuel at the depot. Man, America really is loaded. Just those jets alone, I could fly one and ditch one for months. After a great night's sleep at the hotel, I still didn't head home right away. Simple reason, America's this rich. How could I leave that easily? For the next 2 days, I kept staking places out and digging. I swept the stock from every major supermarket into my space. That also included oil companies, warehouses, major hospitals and clothing factories, freezer plants, machine shops, arms factories, and more. Made a lot doesn't cover it. I got pretty much everything. Meanwhile, security teams everywhere were looking for me. For this mystery person, even using the Sky Eye system. But they still couldn't track my movements. And once I was sure nothing important was left, I boarded a flight out. I was heading home. After 14 hours in the air, and another 2 hours by car after landing, I made it safely back to my safe house. And at that point, before the apocalypse, one day remained. 2 a.m., January 1st, 2050. I locked the titanium door of the safe house. That door doesn't just need a key. It also needs the right code and a face scan to open. You could say, once it shuts, other than me, no one can open it. After that, I sat alone by the window and took out a bottle of red wine. I drank quietly and waited. The apocalypse hit at 2:30 a.m. A blinding white flash suddenly tore through the pitch-black sky. It lit up the whole night like daytime. A solar flare erupted. Just for an instant. Every phone and computer screen by my bed turned to static. Right away. All ordinary electronics failed. Then the solar flare and magnetic blast destroyed a third of the world's satellites. Global communications were badly hit. And finally, the ozone layer was damaged. Starting tomorrow, the sun's energy would hit Earth with nothing blocking it. The UV rays would make it impossible for any living thing to face the daytime sun. From now on, sunlight would be deadly to humans. About a minute later, that white light in the sky vanished. But the end had only just begun. That 1 minute completely crippled electronic devices worldwide. Countless vehicles lost control and crashed. Blackouts, no signal, explosions, fires, screams. Crying. Moaning. Cries for help. The whole earth looked like doomsday. But I calmly finished my red wine. With a slight buzz, I went to sleep. Till broad daylight. I turned on my phone's data. Sure enough, it was partly back. I pulled a dozen beers from my storage. And some grilled kidneys. I checked Weibo, forums, and message boards. They were flooded with last night's news. The authorities were also on multiple platforms, issuing the same notice: citizens of Huaxia, please note. At 2:30 a.m. Kyoto time, January 1, 2050. Due to a solar flare, global communications devices failed all at once. As for the accidents caused, rescue efforts are fully underway. From January 1, 2050, to the early morning of January 4, 2050, everyone across Huaxia will be on collective leave. Do not travel unless necessary, so you don't hinder official rescue work. To ensure normal daily life, all food retail outlets, including large supermarkets and grocery stores, restaurants, hotels, water stations are open. No unauthorized price hikes. Violators will be punished. Unless necessary, don't gather or go out. To prevent crowds and further harm, the authorities will fully restore water, power, gas, and communications to keep daily life unaffected. Due to the severity, for non-emergencies, please don't call the police, so resources can aid disaster victims. 6 o'clock, January 1, 2050. Issued by Huaxia Kyoto Disaster Command. Huaxia's officials are always that fast. Too bad they still underestimated this disaster. Faced with a disaster like this, no one can save this world now. After the notice, I checked a forum too. A lot of people already had sunburn. Most got hit going out this morning. Tomorrow it'll pass 50, then 60. A normal day is 60 degrees, sometimes 70, rarely 80. Starting today, UV levels are way over the limit. If you're in the sun too long, you could even get skin cancer. But I've got plenty of supplies. No need to go out. And you all better get ready for despair. January 3rd, the whole internet exploded. First, they ignored how vital sun protection was during rescue work. Nearly 80% of officials were injured. They couldn't work anymore. Rescue efforts ground to a halt. Then supplies in major stores got panic bought. Soon after, everything sold out. Then the people who got nothing started to panic. Even though the authorities responded at once, it changed nothing. As outdoor temperatures shot up to 50 degrees, air conditioners completely failed. People started venting their fear and anger all over the internet. I was at the table, eating, and scrolling on my phone. A post hardly anyone noticed caught my eye. It said a body was found at a construction site. The police were investigating. That looked like Xiao Feng's site, didn't it? What happened? Why was a body found there? Xiao Feng's site is right, and there's one more thing about Xiao Xiao. She lives next door to me. Usually, he's out at the site with his men. And Xiao Xiao's home alone. Back when I was stockpiling supplies, 2 people noticed. One was my subordinate, Wu Yong. The other was Xiao Feng. After that, he copied me and stocked up a lot in his villa. Enough for him and Xiao Xiao to live on for years. But I didn't know that yet. Now something happened at his site. I just wanted to call and ask. Son, did something happen? I just saw they found a body at your site. You okay? Yeah, something did happen. Last night, a group came to rob supplies from our site and I drove them off. But the guys didn't hold back. They left a few bodies behind. As long as you're okay. Need any help? We're okay for now. The sun's brutal, so me and the guys can only hide at the site. Good thing we've got enough supplies to last a while. But if you want to help, can you check on Xiao Xiao for me? I heard she brought a classmate home. And yesterday the classmate opened the door and handed out supplies. I'm scared people might target them. How could that happen? Okay, I'll keep an eye on her. Xiao Feng thanked me and hung up. Then I called Xiao Xiao too. I wanted to see how she was doing. Jojo sounded upset and wronged. He didn't sound good. I calmed him down and listened. After he told me everything. Turns out, on New Year's Day, he went shopping with his classmate Li Ying. But not long after they left, their skin started burning from the sun. So Jojo bought some sunburn medicine and took Li Ying back home. After their skin got a bit better, they found the sun getting stronger. Even at night, it could still burn your skin, so Li Ying stayed the night. Then on January 2nd, everyone fell into a panic. Violence had already broken out outside over supplies. It wasn't safe to let a girl go home alone, so Li Ying stayed at his place till now. And she found out about all the supplies in the house. Last night, at Li Ying's home, they ran short of food, so Li Ying brought them to Jojo's house and gave them quite a bit of food. But just now, when Jojo finished cooking and called Li Ying to eat, he found her snacking in her room. And she was really wasteful, opening a bag and just taking 2 bites. Then she'd toss it on the floor. Jojo scolded her a little, but she started crying. Then Jojo, trying to cheer her up, promised to cook her meat every meal. That finally made her happy. Brother Taidan, did I do something wrong? I don't know why my brother stocked all these supplies. But aren't we being kind of wasteful? Jojo, you're a good kid. This isn't your fault. If anyone's to blame, it's that ungrateful Li Ying. And one more thing. Li Ying, since she told people your family has supplies, a lot of people may come asking for them next. Don't open the door. Call me right away. I'll figure something out. Okay, Brother Taidan. Got it. I hung up. I rushed to the window to check. No one was outside Jojo's door, so for now, he's safe. If his place stops being safe, I can use the tunnel trick and bring him here to stay. I've got more supplies than I can eat anyway, but for now, he's still too kind. Let Li Ying toughen him up a little. I thought Jojo's issue was just a side note, but what came next shocked me. As more and more people got sunburned, sunblock and burn meds were driven to insane prices. 1 tube of sunscreen cost as much as a house. Some even offered a villa for 1 tube. Still, no one would sell, because by then, everyone knew a little more supply might save your life. Food across the whole city was sold out too. Even instant noodles cost over 100,000 in cash. By then, any sane person knew how vital supplies were. So no matter how high people bid online, no one would sell their supplies. But Jojo's classmate, Li Ying, was the exception. She bragged in the group chat that she had sunscreen and sold it for 3 million a tube. She made 30 million total. Then she generously gave one buyer a box of noodles and a box of sausage. They saw Jojo's house was packed with supplies and were even gloating about scoring a house. Then the front door got smashed open. It was the buyer who got the noodles and ham, driving 2 trucks with over a dozen men charging in. What are you doing? Doing? What an idiot. Move. Then right in front of Li Ying, they looted the entire first floor clean. By then, Jojo woke up from the noise too. When he came downstairs to look, he totally exploded. Li Ying, I treated you like my bestie, and you wanted me dead, Xiao Xiao. What kind of talk is that? Didn't you buy these supplies for 300 grand? I'll send you 1 million, fine. Alipay, 1 million yuan received. This isn't about the money. Leave my house right now. Don't make me get violent. Xiao Xiao's words scared Li Ying badly. She grabbed her bag and scrambled out. Xiao Xiao locked the door. She looked at the mess, and tears spilled out. Luckily, her brother had put the supplies in the basement and under the floor. Only about a third was lost. She pulled herself together and started cleaning up. Meanwhile, Li Ying stared at the 26 million in her account. She was practically losing her mind. She went home first, planning to cook something. But the water and power were already out. How could this happen? Forget it. I'll buy something at the supermarket. I'm rich now. I can buy any food I want. But when she got outside, she found every shop shut and in hidden corners. There were even bits of dried fish left out. Supermarkets, grocery stores, convenience stores all showed signs of looting. How could this be? Just as she was about to go back, she saw a grown man walking toward her with a knife. Didn't expect a lucky find right after stepping out. Why you? What are you doing? Why would you ask something so stupid? Then the man dragged her into the supermarket. A long time later, he finally came out alone. Li Ying sat on the floor, disheveled and hopeless. Her whole worldview had been shattered. The whole world suddenly felt strange. She stumbled back home. She was starving and thirsty. All she could do was beg online. Can anyone give me a sip of water? I can pay. The price is negotiable. A lot of people in the owners group saw it, including Xiao Xiao and Lin Feng. But no one replied. This doomsday living Buddha had saved a lot of people. But now no one's saving him. As for Lin's plea for help, I saw it too, when it came through. I really wasn't in the mood to save a woman that stupid. Keeping someone like that around would only get me killed. Over the next 2 days, all kinds of things kept blowing up online. All kinds of hot guys and pretty girls, for a bite to eat, were selling themselves for help. And plenty got robbed in their homes. Then came an official notice. Attention, all citizens. Recently, because of the extreme weather, crime has been surging. The authorities are organizing a major crackdown. So please protect your property. And make sure you stay safe, too. But how could a notice like that do anything? Right now, staying alive is what matters. Even if the authorities want to judge me, it'll have to wait till order is restored. If you don't live that long, Then what does any of it mean? Just then, I suddenly saw several burly men outside Xiao Xiao's door, smashing it hard. Soon, Xiao Xiao's ordinary security door was smashed open. A vicious-looking mob charged in. But just as I was about to open my door and help, I saw them back out again. They stared inside in terror, like they were afraid of something. Not long after, Xiao Xiao came out too. At that moment, she was nothing like her usual self, gripping a katana with killing intent all over her face. Come on, then. Take all these supplies. Come on. Weren't you gonna kill me first? So what, you're scared now? If I die by your hand today, I'll accept it, but after this, you'd better never sleep. If I ever sneak into this house, I'll tear you apart. Then, he left with his men. Watching the crowd go, Jojo slowly went into the house, then shut the door. He was worn out. He sat down on the floor, gasping. Then his phone suddenly rang. It made him jump. He picked it up and saw it was me. Jojo? What happened? I saw a few big guys run off scared by you. Brother Taidan, is that you? Brother Taidan. That group seemed to be led by Tang Chuan from the next complex. I've seen him before. They came for me this time. Because of Li Ying selling supplies from me to others before. They found out. They wanted my supplies. Then why'd they suddenly leave? When they were smashing the door, I was taking a shower. I was terrified. So I hurried, got dressed, and came out. When I got to the living room, I grabbed a knife my brother collected. After they came in, they said they'd take all my supplies and rushed to the basement. One of the men said he wanted to mess with me first, then walked toward me alone. I was scared to death. I don't know what came over me. I swung and killed him. The ones in the basement heard it and came back out. They wanted to gang up on me. But they were scared I'd killed him too. So they slowly backed out. Brother Taidan. What do I do now? I'm scared they'll bring more people back. Then I'll really be in danger. If I die, fine. But if they take the supplies? What about when my brother gets back? Jojo, don't panic. How about this? 1 minute from now, we're in your basement. You definitely can't stay in this villa. Pack your stuff and come stay with me. Once there's news on your brother, we'll have him come straight over. I quickly dug my way into Xiao Xiao's house. I knew he'd stockpiled supplies. But I didn't expect this much. The whole basement was piled with food, blankets, and winter gear. And in the corner, countless bottles of water. Xiao Xiao was also waiting obediently in the basement. Brother Taidan, I'd love to hide out at your place too. But you can see how many supplies are here. I can't take them. This is what my brother and I need to survive. If these supplies are gone, my brother and I won't make it. So I might have to turn down your kindness. My childhood friend Xiao Feng is very straightforward. And he trusts me a lot too. Otherwise, he wouldn't have watched me stockpile. And then, started stockpiling too. But he has one bad flaw. He hates owing people. If I made Xiao Xiao give up these supplies and live off mine, Xiao Xiao might. But Xiao Feng would rather starve than agree to that. Xiao Xiao, what you're about to see can't be told to anyone you know. Not even your brother, got it? What do you mean, Brother Taidan? I didn't answer him. I opened the space entrance instead. And packed all the basement supplies into it. That way, the supplies were handled too. Let's go, Brother Taidan. Why you? Let's go to my place first. As I spoke, I kept digging. I brought Xiao Xiao back to my shelter. Xiao Xiao was stunned by everything he saw. First, in the middle of the living room, there was a huge block of ice, cooling the whole house. It was 60 degrees outside, but inside it was around 20. And this room's doors were solid steel, with firing ports left in them. Even if the front gate gets breached, hiding inside, you can still fight back. And this is just the first floor. You know Taidan's house has 3 floors up top and 2 underground, right? Bro, are all the other rooms full of supplies too? Bro, did you know the apocalypse was coming? Of course not. Go wash off the blood and fish guts on you first. Don't overthink it. Then I went back to my room alone, quietly thinking about what just happened. Jojo maybe driven them back for now. But they saw the supplies in her house too. I'm sure they'll be back soon enough. Luckily, I got Jojo and the supplies out in time. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. If they find nothing at Jojo's place, will they target my house instead? Not long after, Taidan heard movement outside. Jojo had probably finished cleaning up. But I had no intention of going out. Right now, I had to wipe that gang out for good. If they discover this invincible shelter of mine, it'll be easy to surround. I'm not worried about a breach. But it's still early. If they find it this soon, things could get messy later. Then, I dug my way through, back into Jojo's house, and took out my weapon. Then I waited inside for those thugs to show up. Not long after, I heard footsteps outside. More than one, by the sound of it. Looks like I was right. They weren't about to let Jojo's supplies go. They backed off earlier. Because they were scared crazy Jojo might hack them up. This time, they must have come fully prepared. Otherwise, they wouldn't be this cocky. While I was thinking that, the battered front door got kicked open. You bitch, get out here, weren't you acting tough? Let's see if I don't. As his voice rang out, a dozen burly men, after they rushed into the room, and saw that I was the one inside. A hint of confusion crossed their faces. Who the hell are you? Where's that bitch? I am the one sending you to meet God. Then I pulled the trigger. As the weapon thundered nonstop, they dropped to the floor and fell silent. That should shut them up. Meanwhile, Jojo, who'd just lain down, was thinking over what I'd done. After showering, she'd looked around the whole villa again, but found it sealed tight. It even had surveillance and power equipment. Most importantly, several rooms were locked tight. There had to be secrets inside. She'd seen Brother Taidan renovating the villa before. Who knew he was thickening it and insulating it? Those devices she'd seen were nothing like what an ordinary villa would have, and these past few days, he'd been out, yet living well. Plus his strange ability. Maybe he really did know the heatwave was coming. So he built this villa on purpose. Reinforced walls and extra heavy doors and windows. All to keep people from breaking in. But how could Brother Taidan know the heatwave was coming? While she was lost in suspicion, I'd already gone back to my room. Now that the risk was gone, I had to arrange things for Jojo. I got up and called Jojo downstairs. Then talked with her. First, I told her not to worry. My villa is absolutely safe. No one can hurt her here. Second, I'd hold on to her supplies for now. Every day, I'd give her enough from them for one person's needs, so she wouldn't worry. Lastly, I said I was staying on the first floor for now. She could stay on the second. And keep trying to reach Chow Feng. The moment there was news of Chow Feng, she had to tell me at once. And she herself wasn't to act rashly. After hearing me out, he agreed with my plan. Just then, it was already mealtime. I took out 3 dishes and a soup from my space. All signature dishes from a top hotel, still piping hot. The two of us had a great meal. Then we each went back to our rooms. And as soon as I got back to mine, I got a message from my ex, Feng Qian. Zhang Taidan, don't you live alone in a villa? Hurry and clean up 2 rooms. I'm with Wang Qin right now. We'll come stay with you soon. 2 gorgeous girls staying with you. That's a huge blessing for you. I must have been blind back then. To get tangled up with a woman like that. Even dumber than Li Ying. Do they still think I'm that idiot from before? Qian, I miss you so much. Where are you? Meanwhile, Feng Qian and Wang Qin were eating plain boiled noodles. When she saw my reply, Feng Qian instantly lit up with joy. See? I told you he's my simp. The second I text him, he replies for sure. Qian, are you sure he's got lobster, steak, and red wine? I saw the convoy go in myself. How could it be fake at his place? Don't worry. We'll be eating it by tonight at the latest. I'm so sick of eating plain boiled noodles every day. Then hurry and sweet talk him. That way, we can move into his villa. I'm sick of this hard life too. He's got so many supplies. The 3 of us couldn't finish them in lifetimes. No wonder you can't land a simp. You're on too low a level. Why would I care about him? A simp just has to know I'm suffering, and he'll come running. Watch this, oh my. Foam. Look, I'm actually having plain boiled noodles for breakfast. I'm craving steak. Wonder if this crybaby can even get any. Looking at Feng Qian's message, I couldn't help smiling. That's so like you. Feng Qian, you really know how to play, huh? I took out a bottle of 82 Lafite from my space. Then wagyu and lobster. And over a dozen kinds of caviar. I set seafood on ice, took pics, and sent them to Feng Qian. That's her favorite stuff. My breakfast's a bit much. I can't finish it alone. How about you come eat with me, Qian? Holy crap, Qian. Just how rich is this simp of yours? Could Lin Feng be that guy selling turnkey homes? Lin Feng? Didn't you hear? He sold nearly 40,000 homes in under a month. He's worth well over 10 billion. Calling him a simp is too much, isn't it? If you marry him, you could bathe in Lafite. And still never spend all his money. If you don't pick Lin Feng and choose someone else, are you stupid? Alright, stop talking. I get it. I'll toss this simple little bait for a top-tier simp. Just one caring line. And he'll come crawling. Then drive over and pick me and ching up. This sun is brutal. And it's almost 60 degrees now. We're 2 girls, walking that far. What if something happens? Qian, it's not that I don't want to get you. I just can't go. Everyone in Shishan Villa knows now. I've got 10 billion in supplies. If I go out, they'll beat me to death. Then not only will I die, you won't get this breakfast either. If you want to eat, just come over yourselves. Hardly anyone goes out in the daytime. Call me when you get to the door. I'll let you in. As soon as you see my message. Feng Qian and Wang Qin had no idea they'd get food this good. A little risk was worth it. Okay. Not long after we said we'd message you when we arrived. While I was resting, I heard it. The doorbell. Through the peephole, I looked. And sure enough, it was Fong Qian and Wang Cheng. They really came. For a little food, they really went all out. But even if you got on your knees and begged me, I wouldn't share a bite. You're so damn arrogant. And you still want my supplies. Go on. Keep pressing. In this heat, roast to death out there. What's your problem? It's been 5 minutes already. Why hasn't she come open the door yet? After that, Fong Qian started calling me like crazy. I didn't answer, and the messages kept popping up on my phone one after another. Fong, what are you doing? Why aren't you answering my calls? I'm here, Fong. Open the door. Fong, I'm getting baked to death out here. Weren't you taking us for steak, sashimi, and red wine? But since they'd come all this way, Fong Qian and Wang Qin were never gonna go home for noodles. So they just kept squatting under the sun umbrella, messaging me. It looked just like how I used to desperately fawn on her. An hour later, the two of them could only drag their tired bodies back home. And the whole time, Fong Qian never once texted a single insult, because she was afraid that if she did, I would never let her into my villa for a big meal again. After messing with Fong Qian, that fake little saint, I was in an amazing mood. I used to feed her well and support her for 3 years. And in the end, she hooked up with outsiders, and even cleaned out all my supplies, and nearly starved me to death. This time, I finally got a little payback. I took out a bottle of red wine, and took a small sip. Then I started checking the updates. All residents, count how many people are left in your home. Also record everyone's ID number. Starting at 3 a.m. tomorrow, official relief supplies will be handed out. 1 share per person. Register by ID number to claim it. That instantly blew up the internet. Official relief had finally arrived, and everyone was overjoyed. Oh, thank heaven. Thank Earth too. The officials are finally helping us. I'm almost out of food. If relief food doesn't come soon, I'm gonna starve to death. Thank you, officials. I knew disasters are ruthless. But people care. The officials would never just abandon us. Gotta admit, people really stay optimistic when they're desperate. Right now, probably only the top officials and me know this relief drop is the first one. And the only one. After that, driven by hunger and anger at the authorities, more and more people chose to join the darkness. By then, what happened at Xiao Xiao's place would be happening non-stop. Society would fall completely into chaos. When that time comes, how many people will still stay optimistic? While I drank and scrolled on my phone, something huge was happening on Li Ying's side. She was lying beside a man, chatting with him on and off. His name was Zhou Kaiwa. He used to work security for the government. You're saying there's a woman named Xiao Xiao with a huge stockpile at home? Yes, I saw it myself. A whole basement full of supplies. If she hadn't dumped me, I wouldn't have done this for a bottle of water. Being with you doesn't wrong you at all. At least you'll never go hungry. It's not that this bit of supplies isn't enough. It's just that I still don't feel safe. Why don't we go steal his supplies? Times really have changed. Huazi, you know what I've been through. You know lots of ex-security guys like you. With your kind of force, living in this world would be easy. Even if you won't do it now, once the supplies run out, you'll do the same. Sooner or later anyway, so why not strike first? His supplies could feed 10 people for years. Li Ying's words really got to Zhou Kaiwa. If he hadn't been single so long, he wouldn't even look twice at someone like Li Ying. Sure, she had the looks and the body. But a woman who'd sell her body for a bottle of water, he did look down on that. Then where would we put the supplies we take? Why don't we clear out this whole building first? Drive everyone out. Leave only us and your brothers. We rule the place. That way, the whole building can store supplies. Zhou Kaiwa was still resisting a little, but Li Ying's next words made him lose his last bit of mercy. Haven't you been single a long time? Besides me, don't you want other women too? There seem to be lots upstairs. You can keep them all. Then use Xiao Xiao's supplies to keep them fed. By then, won't you be able to do whatever you want? Those words stirred him. Zhou Kaiwa quickly set a time with Li Ying for the job. To make sure everyone would open their doors, and to give his brothers time to get there. They set it for the day supplies were handed out, the delivery day. That day, Zhou Kaiwa and a few of his brothers first stopped the official vehicle. They seized all the supplies. Then they even took weapons and drove everyone out of the building except the pretty women. A whole truckload of supplies was moved into Zhou Kaiwa's home. Enough to keep them living high. After Zhou Kaiwa and his brothers finished up seeing all these hot girls in their 20s, they got itchy inside. Soon, each of them took a girl away. Before long, the whole building echoed with screams. Li Ying was sitting on the couch, listening to their cries. A faint smile even crossed her face. Good. That's how it should be. Why should I be the only one in pain? Everyone should feel what I went through. Seeing the remaining girls huddled in the corner, shaking, gave her a twisted sense of satisfaction. You're next. By tomorrow at the latest, you'll feel how cruel people get in the apocalypse. Notice, multiple robberies and assaults hit the city again today. Residents are urged to stay alert around strangers. If anything happens, protect your own safety first. Looks like in the apocalypse, human evil can't stay hidden. In a place where you could die anytime. And the law is gone. It's obvious what it'll be like in a few days. Meanwhile, I was leisurely sipping red wine. And eating steak. Enjoying a life my former self never had. Xiao Xiao was in her room eating the food I'd given her. Ever since she came to my place, she'd been pretty reserved. She seemed scared. Living with me, basically a strange man. If she wasn't scared, that'd be weird. So I didn't bother her much. News said an official supply truck was hijacked by criminals. Then they seized an entire apartment building. That woman looked familiar. It looked like Li Ying. Then I stared at the video. And watched it several times. It really was Li Ying. She actually had the guts to do that. Honestly, I kind of admire her. And from the looks of it, her status among those criminals wasn't low. She was probably the boss's woman or something. Impressive. To latch onto someone that capable. In the apocalypse, I've seen plenty of people survive like that. But most of them had that kind of experience before the apocalypse. Or only changed halfway through it. Someone changing that fast, like Li Ying. That's a first for me. All of you, be careful. Zhang Taidan rigged the walls with high voltage. Don't touch it, boss. Are you too tall? Look at Taidan. With my blade, a few chops and I'll split this damn door open. One of the lackeys was itching to try. He grabbed a machete and swung with all his might. Clang. The machete snapped on impact. Zheng Dahai stared at the door. It didn't even leave a mark. Old Wang, you're a pro lockpicker. Get this lock open. Old Wang nodded. He hurried to the door. But once he saw the lock, this man with 30 years, as a locksmith, was instantly dumbfounded. This lock's got top-tier facial recognition, plus a coded mechanical lock. And a fingerprint lock too. 4 in 1. If in 30 seconds, not one opens, this door locks down for good. Even with my 30 years of experience, there's no way I can crack it in 30 seconds. I told you to open it, so open it. Stop whining. If it were easy, why would I need you? Old Wang let out a sigh. Carefully, he took out his tweezers and slid them into the keyhole. But what he never imagined was I'd electrified the alloy door too. Old Wang was instantly fried by the high voltage. Looking at Old Wang's charred corpse, everyone's hair stood on end. Boss, how about we hit another place? This Zhang Taidan doesn't seem easy to mess with. What are you scared of? Get me a hammer. Smash it through the window. I don't believe his windows are live too. Zhang Taidan. This punk spent billions stockpiling supplies. He's got endless food and water in there. Once we break into this house, everything inside is ours. Zheng Dahai's words gave those lackeys courage again. Billions worth of food and water was insanely tempting right now. Thud. When Zhang Dahai's sledgehammer hit the glass, the web of his thumb split on the wooden handle. It cracked right away. Zheng Dahai took out a flashlight and checked the glass. Turns out the glass was insanely thick. This wasn't something a person could smash through. That full force hit just now didn't even leave a mark. Hook up the jackhammer to the power line. No way this glass can stop a jackhammer. When I saw them pulling wires, I got up and headed to the second floor. I trusted the tempered glass I'd installed. But if I just let them keep making a scene, that wasn't gonna work. On the second floor, I cracked the window open, then dumped a huge amount of water on them. The sudden dousing stopped them cold. All of them looked up at me in shock. If you don't get away from my house, I'm not gonna be nice. Zhang Taidan. Do you know how precious that water was? How could you waste water like that? I felt like it. What can you do? You've got billions in supplies. Why can't you spare us some? Why should I give you any? I paid for it. Besides, is this how you beg? If you're begging, act like it. Got it? What kind of beggar acts like you? Once we get in there, you're done. Zheng Dahai, will make you starve for days, then live in your house right in front of you, and eat your supplies. If you'd backed off, you still had a chance. Now you can't leave. I threw the high voltage cable straight out the window. At their soaked bodies, they instantly started screaming. It went on for a long time. I didn't go check on them. I already knew the outcome. Old Wang outside the gate was proof. Not till it went quiet below. Did I put the high voltage wire away? A burnt smell came in the window. I quickly shut it and headed to my room. A criminal gang was wiped out by me just like that. But what I didn't know was, new trouble was only just starting. Then my phone started blowing up again. It was all messages from Feng Qian. Even a friend request from her bestie, Wang Qin. What are these two up to? I thought after I locked them out last time, they'd stop bothering me. I opened the messages, and everyone asked why I didn't open the door. There wasn't any blame in the tone at all. It was all, are you okay? Tian Dan, why didn't you open up? Are you feeling sick? Why aren't you replying? Is it that bad? T and Dan, want me to come take care of you? Looking at those messages, I felt sick instantly. Especially that nickname. If I hadn't gotten a second life, I really might have been fooled by her. But whatever they're after. I'm not scared now, so I accepted Wang Qin's request and played along by texting Feng Qian. Qian. Sorry, I'm hurt. I was out cold all day. I just woke up and saw your messages. T and Dan. You silly boy, no need to apologize. I'm coming over right now. You're hurt. And no one's there, how can that be okay? Still calling me T and Dan. It makes me sick. The hell you are taking care of me. You just want to come in and mooch, huh? I tried my best to swallow the nausea. I faked concern and texted Feng Qian back. I'm hurt. I can't go out. I can't pick you up. If I weren't hurt, I'd definitely come get you. It's such a mess out there. Qian, if something happens to you, how could I go on? Feng Qian looked at the text. Her face was full of scorn. So I'm still that pathetic lapdog. A bitch who won't move when pulled, but backs up when whipped. Zhang Taidan, just wait till I get in there. Then you'll know what cruel means. Perfect, you're hurt. I'll just use the chance to kill you and take your place. Be queen myself. It's fine. We'll come take care of you now. We'll be there in half an hour. Remember to open the door. Okay, I'll open it on time. Once I got my confirmation, Feng Qian looked vicious. You standing me up yesterday isn't over. When I get there, I'll make you feel real good. Then all those years you chased me won't be for nothing, man. That moment would be when her guard was lowest. As long as I strike the right spot, it'll be a clean kill. Seeing how close to crazy Feng Qian looked, Wang Qin swallowed nervously. She wanted to text me, but it didn't feel like the right time. Feng Qian was right there. If Feng Qian found out, she might be in danger too. I want seafood. You should have some, right? Don't try to lie to me. I smelled lobster yesterday. Then what'll you trade me? From your own supplies. But me, brother Taidan, without any of that. I've been eating ham instant noodles for days. Can't you give me some? Acting cute won't work. If you want seafood, you've gotta trade for it. But I don't have anything you'd want. Wait, don't tell me, Zhang Taidan. How'd I never realize you were such a perv? What are you thinking? How about I give you a job? If you do it, I'll treat you to seafood for a week. What job? In a bit, 2 women will come knock. Your job is to pretend to be my girlfriend and drive them off. Do it however you want. Just, don't make it easy for them. Especially that Feng Qian. Isn't she your goddess? You can bear that? Ugh, spare me. You don't need to ask so much. Just make her miserable. Suddenly, someone knocked. Looks like Feng Qian. They're here. I shot Xiao Qiao a look. I told her. Once she opened the door, don't leave Zhang Tid side. I'm here. Open up. As Feng Qian spoke, with a door between them, the real showdown began. Why are you looking for my Taidan? Who are you? Why are you in Tiedan's place? And who are you? Why are you coming to my Tiedan's place now? Feng Qian and Wang Qin were standing outside in the blazing sun. They were already upset. After hearing Xiao Qiao, Feng Qian got even angrier. Who the hell are you? What are you doing at my boyfriend's place? Your boyfriend? If he's your boyfriend, why aren't you at home? Why am I the one here instead? Go back. Brother Taidan only needs me. After that, Xiao Qiao ignored Feng Qian's outburst and went back to her room. After Feng Qian and Wang Qin cursed outside, they went back too. After getting home, Feng Qian got madder. This can't just end here. Wang Qin. Zhang Tidans played us twice, but Wang Qing seemed a little distracted. Wang Qing, I'm talking to you. What's with you? I saw those charred salted fish by his window. I'm still shaken. I saw them too. They were probably after his supplies, and got zapped to death. Hey, then could he be hurt? Maybe that's why he didn't answer, and that woman inside sounded familiar. I think she's his buddy's little sister, Xiao Qiao. Could it be because he's hurt? His buddy came to care for him, and brought his sister along? Then the brother and sister hid it from Taidan, and left us outside. Probably. No, that's gotta be it. The more Feng Qian thought, the more she felt it might be true, and her tone grew more and more agitated. But Wang Qin barely heard a word, because Taidan had accepted her friend request. But he still hadn't messaged her. Meanwhile, Taidan and Xiao Qiao were eating seafood. A whole table of dishes. Made your mouth water. Xiao Qiao was scarfing it down. I'm beat. Why? I just fooled those 2 idiots. It took less than a minute. And you handled it. You've only done a third of it, tops. Don't be so stingy. If it were someone else, they might not have done it this well. Saving time and effort is good, right? What's with you? Why didn't you let her in? Haven't you been after her for years? It's complicated. Just don't ask. Anyway, this time, she asked to come herself. He came once before too. But I didn't let him in. And this time, he actually asked to come again. Of course I won't let him in this time either. I chatted with Xiao Xiao a bit more. Then after he ate, we went back to our rooms. You animal, why'd you do this? I loved you for real. 6 years. For 6 whole years, you wouldn't let me touch you. You kept saying only after marriage. Truth is, you just didn't love me. Huazi, don't waste words on this woman. She had it good and didn't know it. Ayu, for old time's sake. I won't let them force you. But think it through. It's the apocalypse now. Having someone is better than surviving alone. Get some rest today. I'll bring you food tomorrow. Turns out looting that building earlier got Joe Kaiwa and his men tons of supplies. It made them love that free-for-nothing feeling. So a few days later, they looted another building. And it was the building where Joe Kaiwa's ex, Liang Xiuyu, lived. Just like before, they drove all the men out and kept the supplies and young women. And since Liang Xiuyu was Joe Kaiwa's girlfriend, the lackeys brought her to Joe Kaiwa first thing. Joe Kaiwa, I really didn't think you were this kind of person. I must have been blind to fall for you. That's all I have to say. Get some rest. After Joe Kaiwa left with Liang, the others each picked their own, then left laughing with the women. Only Liang Xiuyu was left alone in the room. Who knows how much time passed? Until late at night. Liang Xiuyu slowly got up from the floor, just as she was about to leave this place. The door was suddenly opened. It's you? Who's there? It is Liang. I'm here to let you go. Go. What do you mean? Under this kind of neglect, we women are completely at a disadvantage. Don't you see that yet? Those strong men out there can do whatever they want to us anytime. And as women, the best way to survive is to rely on them. Pick the right man, and you live well. I still don't get what you're saying. Zhou Kaiwa is the man I chose. I thought he'd be crazy in love with me. But now it seems that 6 years between you two, he still can't let go. The best way would be to kill you. But I can't deal with your corpse. So letting you leave is a pretty good option too. You're really letting me go? Yes, go, now. Once you leave this building, where you go is none of my business. Just don't show up in front of Zhou Kaiwa again. This is my last warning to you. Otherwise, I'll definitely. After saying that, she left, leaving only Liang Xiuyu standing there alone. Inside, he was torn. On one hand, he couldn't let go of those 6 years. On the other, he really had seen Zhou Kaiwa change today. A person who'd become a total stranger to him. In the end, he decided to leave this place. Even if outside wasn't necessarily safe, this place clearly wasn't safe. Once outside the building, he didn't know where to go either. He could only pick a direction and keep walking. By the time dawn was near, he somehow ended up at the front gate of Zhang Tidan's villa. Those charred corpses caught his eye. Why are there salted fish here? Looks like these people tried to rush into this villa, but failed, just like Zhou Kaiwa. If that's really the case, thinking that, outside the villa, Liang Xiuyu started pounding on the door. Zhang Tidan, still asleep inside, was really annoyed by the knocking. He got up, checked the monitor, then went to the door. A very pretty girl. Her clothes were a mess, and she was pounding on the door like crazy. What's with her? Banging on such a big door like that, doesn't her hand hurt? He carefully watched for a while through the monitor. After making sure no one else was there, he turned on the mic and spoke to the woman. What the hell are you doing? You wanna die? Those salted fish by your feet, you can't see them? I saw them. That's why I'm knocking. Do you have a weapon, any weapon? I need a weapon. As long as you give me one, I'll do anything. Are you insane? Give you a weapon? So you can use it on me? If nothing's wrong, get lost. Or I won't be nice. So, you really do have the weapon I need. And enough ammo too. I'll trade anything for it. Let her in. I don't think she's a bad person. Xiao Xiao had appeared beside Zhang Taidan before he knew it. What if she is bad, and we give her a weapon? What happens to us? Your kindness will only get you hurt. Did you forget what happened before? This time is different. Let her in. As for the weapon, we'll see how it goes. Then decide. Don't be so scared. She's just a girl. Don't tell me you can't even handle her? Nice try. That won't work on me. Have you thought about what happens if we let her in? If she finds out we have this many supplies, and it's just the two of us, he'll probably bring people to steal our supplies. And right now, he's clearly out for revenge. Don't let him out. Can we? I was stupid. Jojo's biggest flaw is kindness. In the end, after Jojo kept pleading, I still opened the door and let Liang Xiuyu in. There wasn't a trace of light in his eyes. He looked dazed, like a walking corpse. I want a weapon. Give me one. I'll do anything, no matter what you want. But you should know, unless my safety's guaranteed, I won't hand one over. If I gave you a weapon now, honestly, wouldn't you just kill us? I've said my piece. You look exhausted too. Go wash up and rest first. We'll get you some food. Once you're in better shape, we'll talk about the weapon. Liang Qiuyu did seem a little better. He nodded. Then, led by Jojo, he went to Jojo's room and a few hours later was clearly more awake, with Jojo quietly by his side. He came into the living room. I was holding a weapon then, looking at Liang Qiuyu with a faint smirk. Take a look. Russian Makarov, 2045 latest model. 20-round mag. One shot can blow a head off. But before I give it to you, tell me why you want a weapon so badly. If you can't give me a convincing reason, I'm not giving it to you. With that, I put the weapon away. Fine, I'll tell you. The reason I need a weapon is to get revenge and kill a man named Zhou Kaiwa. What's he to you? He's my boyfriend. No, my ex-boyfriend now. We were together 6 years. But these past 2 days, he was lured away by a woman named Li Ying. Maybe the one you knew wasn't the same person. You said that bitch threw herself into Zhou Kaiwa's bed. Then Zhou Kaiwa changed. He took some old co-workers and formed a gang of ex-security men in the city. They robbed the complex I lived in. They drove off the old, weak, sick, disabled, and the men. They took all the women. For their pleasure. Then how'd you escape? Li Ying let me go. She said she wanted to stay with Zhou Kaiwa forever. But she couldn't just beat me in front of him. So she let me leave. So you wanted the gun to kill that heartless bastard. Yeah. Childish. Go. Liang Qiuyu got worked up at once. What? Why? Because you're childish. Giving a childish person a weapon is dangerous. Go. Come back when you've thought it through. Then I walked him out. And slammed the door. Brother Taidan. Why'd you call him childish? Isn't he childish? At a time this dangerous, he wants a weapon. Just to get revenge on some scumbag. And that scumbag's the boss of a whole gang of trained security men. He didn't even think about whether they'd take the weapon from him. And clearly, he hasn't thought through what he'd do with it after revenge. Right now, he's dangerous. I get it. Brother Taidan, could the Li Ying he mentioned be my friend Li Ying? No clue. But if it is, she changed way too fast. A woman with mush for brains. After being abused. Could grasp the survival rules for the weak in the apocalypse that fast? Unbelievable. Brother Taidan, more and more people are being attacked now. Is that really the only way for the weak to survive? Living under someone else's protection is one way. The strong eat the weak. Survival of the fittest. That's nature's law. In the apocalypse, humans have just gone from an ordered world back to a primitive age. Then if Liang Qiuyu goes out like this, will he be in danger? If you're worried about him, in times like this, there are drones. Just fly one after him and watch. Does anyone have extra food? Our building 3 got no aid supplies. We're out of food. I can trade for it. I've still got a premium ham at home. And gold. I want to trade for 20 gene of rice or flour. I've got a case of non-mutai made in 2000. It's already 50 years old now. A case of 6 is worth about 20 million now. I'll trade it for just 20 gene of grain. Rice is fine. Or corn. Anything's fine. I'm not picky. The apocalypse is over. Now 20 gene of grain a month can buy 50-year liquor. I really miscalculated on this one. No, I didn't stockpile much. And it was good stuff too. So I chose to trade with him right away, and once I got his address, I used a drone to make the trade. After opening a bottle and taking a sip, that smooth, top-shelf feel told me it was real. Why trade for liquor? You can't eat that stuff. Even if we ate for 200 years, we still couldn't finish it all. What we need now isn't food. It's enjoying life. Besides, it's only a little rice. Don't sweat it, Brother Dan, since food's so valuable now. Can you help me trade off all the grain that's about to spoil? You know, the supplies piled up at home before, because it's been so hot. Some of it's starting to go bad. If you're willing, help me trade all of it away for something useful. Go grab 2 drones yourself. Whatever you need, just check your phone and trade for it. Okay, thanks, Brother Taidan. As Jojo and I used drones to trade supplies around, everyone else started copying us too. Before long, the sky was full of drones. More people started showing off their valuables, naming prices, hoping to trade them for food. But in the apocalypse, people are the hardest to read. Not long after, the phones filled with curses. Some people sent their supplies over first. But the others wouldn't send theirs. Drone scammers were everywhere. In the end, people only trusted Jojo and me. Because we'd never scam anyone. So more and more people traded with us. Just as everyone was starting to trade, everyone's phone got several back-to-back alerts. They were messages from America. To all survivors, hello. On January 1st, 2050, a magnetic storm from solar activity destroyed Earth's ozone layer. UV rays are now lethal to all life on Earth. Global temperatures have surged, and the intense UV radiation won't, for hundreds or even thousands of years, return to normal. Which means, by the time you see this, The world has already ended. No government can protect you now. Many governments can't even hold themselves together. Some countries near the equator have already fallen. Survivors, if you want to live, the only one you can trust is yourself. All people are equal. America, as an official authority, must inform every survivor of the situation. To stay alive, you must believe in your own strength and fight to survive for freedom and democracy. Official U.S. statement, January 10, 2050. After the global notice came a message from Russia. Survivors, hello. You all know the apocalypse is here, right? Russia is now the most livable place on Earth. Russia has already started UV shield greenhouse projects. Siberia, plus the land inside the Arctic Circle, is enough to feed 500 million people. Inside the Arctic Circle, the average daytime temperature is only 35 degrees. As for Lake Baikal's water, the current reserves can supply 500 million people for over 100 years. All you need now is to pay 10 gene of gold bricks per person. Come on your own to the Lake Baikal survival base, and you'll get permanent Russian citizenship and live forever in a survival base in Russia. Time's running out. Head north to Russia. A corrupt official at Shishan Villas looked at the message on his phone. After slapping himself like crazy, he checked again. I've spent my whole life taking bribes, and I actually used 20 gene of gold bars to trade for 20 bags of lousy chicken legs. That was actually 2 spots at the Russian survival base. I've never done anything this stupid in my life. Boss, I don't want to trade anymore. Give me my gold back, please. Of course, Xiao Xiao wasn't about to agree to that. But what happened next went beyond his expectations. Messages on the phone started popping up one by one. Does anyone know where that user Big Xiao Xiao lives? I found this with 40 gene of gold. I'll pay 20 gene as a reward. That's 2 spots at the Lake Baikal survival base. I don't know the exact address, but I'm in building 2. I saw the drone fly out of Zheng Tiedan's villa. If you want gold bars, go find them now. If they make it to Russia, it'll be too late. Let's go all out against those bastards. Why was I dumb enough to trade away my gold bars? Turns out they already knew gold bars would matter. That's fucking heartless. I'm already the screwed, and they still used bags of chicken legs to trick me into this test. What official could resist a test like that? They still have food left. I bet it's in that building materials warehouse in building 1. Because at the end of December, I saw a lot of supply trucks go into that warehouse. Back then, I thought it was building supplies. But now that I think about it, it had to be food. Damn, that warehouse was packed with supplies. I don't want gold bars. I'm not going to Siberia. Just give me a box of instant noodles. 1. The warehouse supplies were enough to drive them crazy. The people begging for supplies instantly united. They planned to wait till dark, then attack Zhang Tiedan's villa together. What a joke. Lake Baikal is already in my space. Looks like Mao Shenghua played them with bad intel. Too bad they all bought it. Looks like tonight's gonna be a rough fight. Sorry, brother Taidan. I didn't know that gold bars would turn into this. What do we do now? You've got so much gold. Why not go to Lake Baikal? Just use 10 gene of gold bars, plus 20 gene of food. To hire someone to drive you to Lake Baikal. Then you could live safe for life. I'm not stupid. Hire someone? The second people find out I've got this stuff, surviving till tomorrow's a question. Aren't those people online after our supplies and gold already? You're right. The dumb ones are. The ones who believe Mao Xiong would need gold at a time like this, brother Taidan. So what now? Just stay home and hold the place. Remember, do not open the door. Not even for me. It got dark pretty fast. Before long, Lin Feng's villa was surrounded. Most of them came because they heard someone here was freely trading food for supplies. That meant their stockpile had to be huge. After some people exaggerated it, the supplies here were worth hundreds of billions. They didn't fully believe it. But in times like this, anyone who could still freely trade supplies had to have endless stock. People inside, listen up. Hand over all supplies. Hand over all the gold bars. And I'll spare a few of you. Shouted through a loudspeaker. At Zhang Tiedan's villa, they shouted out loud. But Zhang Taidan ignored them. After calming Xiao Xiao, he snuck out of the villa alone and brought out his doomsday war car. The people at the front gate yelled for ages, but got nothing. In the end, their rage hit the limit. For supplies, for a shot at rushing to Lake Baikal in Russia. Then the crowd slammed into his gate like a zombie horde. Some smart asses even started climbing the wall, wanting to be the first inside. But despair always comes to the greedy first. The high-voltage wall shocked them off in an instant. Then their bodies dropped right off the wall. The next to despair were the ones ramming the gate. They realized, even hitting the gate together, it still didn't budge. After checking a bit more, they found this alloy gate was impossible to open with what they had. Just as the whole crowd fell into despair, I drove my doomsday war car onto the scene. They spotted me at once, then turned and rushed at me, trying to stop my car with their bodies. Maybe they thought a driver has to slow down if someone's in front. But this was the apocalypse. Rules meant nothing now, so I floored it and slammed straight into the crowd charging over, scattering them on the spot. Seeing that, in the crowd, a man in a security uniform suddenly raised a pistol and aimed at me, then fired wildly. The bullets hit the car, pinging off uselessly. Come on. I spent hundreds of millions on this car, how could a pistol wreck it? Then, I yanked the wheel and the car slammed into him. With a scream, he flew off and crashed down 3 meters away, groaning in pain. After seeing that, and seeing I'd even ram a trained guard, the crowd was scared and scattered at once. Before long, around the whole villa, other than the badly wounded still wailing, there was no one else. Watching the crowd vanish, I kept driving, found an empty spot, and dug my way back home. What I didn't know was, after I left, Li Ying appeared by that security guard and picked up the gun and ammo he dropped.